What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today is a pretty exciting one. I have the new Axcel driver sight. Just came in this last week for me. Been playing around with it a little bit, but I was just going to give you a full rundown and give you my thoughts and everything. So to start, comes with a hard case, which really nice considering the price point of the sight. I mean, it is up to a $500 some sight. So when you open it, the sight will be in there with two pieces, then a little QR code, instruction manual with hubcap and all that stuff, information. And underneath of it, you got kind of your instructions. Get it out. Sticker, multiple pages of sight tapes. And then you also have metal sight tapes, and they do include all the Allen key sizes you need, which is really nice because some of them are in a little hard to reach areas if you have just a basic Allen key set like this. So that's about how it comes. Pretty nice, I would say. So here is my sight. So I have a pick mount because I have the pick mount for my RX-8 Ultra. So obviously this is the driver sight. I have the 3-pin horizontal in 10,000 size, and this is the first time I've shot horizontal in almost 2 years. So it feels weird to go back to it, but these pins are very nice. I mean, they're super bright. I don't really know. I don't know if it's focusing that well on it or not, but they're super bright. Has the nice Accustat, I think that's how you pronounce it, or what they're called. But from there, I mean, the first impression, this thing is light. Like, it is by far the lightest sight I had. Before, I had a CBE Trek Pro with a Dark Owl archery scope, which I am going to put on this one because I really like the vertical pins. That'll be another video though. I'm going to take a deep dive into that scope and everything. But like, this is significantly heavier than this, and it doesn't feel cheaper, as it shouldn't. It's still a more expensive sight, but it feels very well constructed. So my first initial impression was the driver wheel is very easy to grab. I mean, the lock is right here, so you just kind of flip it up and down, then you can adjust it in between if you want a little bit of tension or if you want it wide open. If you have it wide open, it's still not going to fall, which I like, but typically I leave it somewhere halfway because I don't need to adjust it a ton unless I do, and then I'll just unlock it and then scroll. The wheel, super grippy. I really like the rubber coming from like an all metal, like a little TriStar. This is so much better. The only real complaint, and it's barely a complaint, but they got this to be such a low profile between the rail and the wheel for bigger hands like myself to get in between here. It's just a little tight. Like, you can still easily grab it, but I'll just notice my thumb rubs a little bit, or if I had gloves it'd maybe be a little bit harder, but I almost never hunt in gloves, so not a huge deal, not a huge deal. Next up, so in preface, I've used this sight already a little bit. I took it off the bow just so it's easier to kind of take around and everything, and I'll mount it back to the bow. I mean, it's a pick mount, it's super easy. But indicator pins, really nice. They're really nice. They're metal, they're green, which actually goes well because my bow color is green right now, so that works really well. I'm definitely going to try and use metal sight tapes. I always like metal sight tapes, but that's just personal preference. But so this is kind of the micro adjust part. So let's see if I can. So right there, that is the lock for the micro adjust windage right here. And I was actually a little confused by this. So if you have it pressed in, you can adjust. And you can adjust the tension of this a little bit. I have it pretty hard so it doesn't get bumped or anything like that. But originally I thought you would have it pressed out if you want it to not be locked. So, I mean, that's just something to know, but it's a hard thing to bump. I was a little worried about that at first, but realistically, the chances of you bumping that in and then moving it, if you have it set somewhat heavy, is pretty low. So that's how you use micro adjust on it. It does have a macro right here. It's just a bar, slides in and out. You just unlock it with this screw right here, and then you're good to go. So axis adjustment. This is where I go back and forth. First axis, super easy. You unlock this bottom screw. Then there's a little micro drive here. So if you just need a little bit, just micro drive this. If not, you can shift this a little bit, and that's what I had to do. I actually had to shift that quite a bit, and then it worked out well. So Axcel claims, and I mean obviously believe them, but they manufacture like the head and everything to like a perfect 90 degrees. So they didn't really incorporate a second axis adjustment, which I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish they still had it. And they still do have it. Like if your bubble's a little off, you just micro adjust the first axis a little bit. And it works perfectly well. But I've heard if you use an external scope that's not an Axcel one, you might have issues. So I'm going to go into that more in my dark owl archery scope review video, because I just got a new one. Do I have it? Yeah, I do. I just got that right here. So that's kind of my next hope, is to get that mounted and on here, because I like a 3 vertical pin, and sadly Axcel doesn't make one. I wish they did, but they don't. So time will tell on that one. If it doesn't level out, I'll switch back to the horizontal head and it won't be a big deal, but I would really like to run that one. So time will tell. But otherwise, third axis, super easy. I wish they had a micro drive third axis, but they don't. So you basically just crack these 2 screws right here, and then you can tilt your head however you need it. So it's pretty standard. It's actually very similar to what I had on my CBE Trek Pro. So all in all, first impressions and like first day of using it has been really good. It does have a 0 stop, which is a huge thing for me. I will not buy a sight that doesn't have a 0 stop. So like the UV slider, I know there's kind of third parties that have started making stuff, but I'm not going to mess with that. I want a 20-yard stop, dead stop, or whatever, however far you want it to be included, especially for a sight of this caliber. So that's nice to have. I guess kind of my last few things is I'll mount it quick and just show you. It's super easy to mount on, and it looks really good. So there's that. So I'm going to get that, adjust camera angle a little bit, and then we'll go into that. All right, so all in all, it's a pretty simple process. The Hoyt pick mount has 3 lines here. You choose which one you want. I always go for the top one just to make it easy. So you loosen it. It has a really nice thumb screw here. You loosen it, get the bracket around, tighten it up. You can either hand tighten it, or inside of the thumb screw there's a slot for an Allen key, so you can really get it tight. But I honestly just like hand tightening it, and then it's pretty good to go. Yeah, so this is kind of what it looks like on the bow. It's really sleek, especially black on black. Looks really good. The wheel is incredibly smooth, so I really like that. And it's just all in all a great sight. Let me adjust the camera angle here. So yeah, I mean, all in all, this sight is really, really good. I mean, as it should be. It is a very high-end sight, and I'm so happy to have it. Like, really told myself I'm going to do some more western hunts this year, some antelope, so a lot of things that need a good sight. And nothing against CBE, this sight is great, especially for the $300 some price point, but their locking mechanism and this wheel aren't too great for super fast action adjustments, and that's what I need. I need something that's light for a sight and that can adjust really fast and really easy, and this sight fits the bill. So all in all, I would say I would 100% recommend this sight. Go check them out. I mean, they're pretty much everywhere, right? They're at Shields, Lancaster, Podium Archer, all the typical places. Just a matter of if you can find one. I got lucky and got one, but your experience may vary. So best of luck, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them below. I'll make sure to answer them, and give me a like and subscribe if you like this. I really appreciate it. And yeah, this is my review on the Axcel driver sight.